Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, June 24th. A very nice weekend in the Mid-Atlantic region. High pressure produced comfortable conditions with very nice temperatures and humidity levels for late June. That high, however, will push off the eastern seaboard later today, and we'll have an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms late today, and especially in the overnight hours tonight as a warm front lifts through the Mid-Atlantic region. That rain, however, will not set off a wet pattern like we had last week. In fact, we'll experience the first summer-like stretch of weather for the second half of the week here, with highs on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at or above the 90-degree mark in D.C. and Philadelphia, well up in the 80s across New York City, and it looks like those 3 days in particular will be rain-free. Next weekend begins very warm and humid. There could be some shower and thunderstorm activity. But again, the big weather story of this week is the first stretch of summer-like weather for much of the Mid-Atlantic region. Philadelphia officially has only hit the 90-degree mark once so far this year in the latter part, the latter part of May. Looks like we'll have a shot at 90 degrees in Philly on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and perhaps even into the upcoming weekend. There will be a pretty decent shot of a refreshing air mass coming our way by the early part of next week as we end the month of June and begin the month of July. Well, here's the current surface map. A few main players here I want to point out. First of all, here's the high pressure that controlled the weather in the Mid-Atlantic region throughout the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday turned out very warm indeed, very nice indeed. That is moving off the eastern seaboard this morning. Warm front to the south will slowly push to the north and east. There are some showers and thunderstorms out across the Tennessee Valley this morning. We'll see the radar in a moment. There could be some isolated showers and storms late in the afternoon, more likely in the I-95 corridor. They'll wait until the overnight hours, especially after midnight in Philadelphia and New York City, for example, perhaps the latter part of the evening in D.C. And here's a weak cool frontal system that will press east and arrive in the I-95 corridor region on Tuesday. A weak front, though, no cool air behind it. In fact, it turns summer-like for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Meanwhile, out in the western U.S., basically dry conditions out in the western third of the nation over the next several days. Not too unusual for this time of year. Well, in terms of severe weather, here's the outlook by the Storm Prediction Center, and there can be some heavy rainfall later tonight, tomorrow morning in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Most likely the thunderstorms will not be of the severe variety, but again, we could have some locally heavy rainfall, maybe some flooding conditions because, of course, grounds are still well saturated. Meanwhile, basically the western part of the Mid-Atlantic region, out across the Ohio Valley, there is a slight risk of some severe thunderstorm activity later today going into tonight. And we'll watch that. They'll tend to weaken somewhat as they press towards the eastern seaboard, but still can produce some heavy rainfall later tonight going into the early part of the day on Tuesday. Well, here's the current radar map from Intellicast.com. All clear right now in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, today will be a rain-free day, at least through the midday and early afternoon. There can be an isolated shower or thunderstorm late this afternoon in Philadelphia, and especially down across the D.C. metro region, but we're starting off the day with rain-free conditions. Here's the area to watch. This is the area over the Tennessee Valley that will see the shower and thunderstorm pattern here expand to the east and north over the next several hours, creeping closer towards the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, especially in the overnight hours, it looks like we'll have some shower and thunderstorm activity in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor, and some of that rain can be heavy at times. Certainly some severe weather possible down in this area over the next several hours as this squall line heads to the south and east in the deep south. Meanwhile, out west, rain-free conditions this morning. It looks like they'll be rain-free at least for the next 5 days or so in the southwestern part of the nation. Well, let's walk through last night's 6Z GFS model run. Again, rain-free to start the new work week here. The big weather story of the week will be the first extended stretch of summer-like weather. Let's move forward here. That is the area to watch in terms of increasing coverage on the radar over the next several hours. The Tennessee Valley, the Ohio Valley, this will push to the north and east over the next several hours. And again, the heaviest stuff looks like it'll wait till late evening or even the overnight hours in Philadelphia, New York City, more likely, excuse me, beginning in the evening hours in D.C. And some of that rain can be heavy at times as that warm front lifts through the region. It looks like it hangs on into the early part of Tuesday. Gradual increasing amounts of sunshine tomorrow afternoon. And it'll become much more summer-like with the humidity levels really creeping up. They'll actually begin to increase today, but be quite noticeable by tomorrow afternoon. Very warm, humid patterns setting up from later tomorrow right through the rest of the work week. Cannot completely rule out a shower or a thunderstorm in the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame, but for the most part, high pressure will remain in control here. Again, it could be an isolated shower late Wednesday night, early Thursday, but this high generally produces our first summer-like stretch of weather in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. By the time we get to the upcoming weekend, there will be some weak disturbances and a weak cool frontal system that could cause some showers and thunderstorms. Here we go on Saturday morning. And there are some signs that by the early part of next week, we'll have to look to the north and west with this high pressure area. This is the forecast map for Sunday morning. It could be a refreshing air mass pushing back into the Mid-Atlantic region by the early part of next week as we end the month of June and begin the month of July. But the big story of the week will be the first stretch of summer-like weather, really beginning tomorrow, but especially on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.